We have another short video on the Mantis grind, this time specifically for this critical event. If we go over to heavy hitter, we'll see that heavy hitter gives you points for critical damage against Actian, Swarm, and Borg hostiles. It has to be critical though. You do get some more, 10 times as much with this Polaron beam. I didn't buy that. Cam did though, and you can tell. But I'm going to just give a brief overview about what we found to work. I tried this crew, Ortega's here for the mitigation against the Explorers. Then Gorkon, because you have an extra comp that gives you 100% crits. So this will give you Hull Breach 2, which just multiplies your damage by another 50%. And I tried to use Marcus. He's my best officer that has this type of ability where you increase your piercing. It wasn't enough. Didn't seem to make any difference at all. Maybe if you have Kang or Sharvanik, that might do better. Kang, I don't have a very high level of either of those, but the ability that Kang has is similar. It just increases the accuracy by 100% of the attack, or 200 or 400 depending on what tier it is. And Sharvanik's the same kind of deal, and I'll show you why that's important after we take a quick look at the logs. So if we go back to when I was hitting the 36s, you can see when you have all the exocomps on, so when you have the critical chance and the extra shot and the critical damage, or I think it even doesn't matter without the critical damage. With the first two, it only takes 3 rounds to kill one of these Explorers. And they die in the 3rd round without doing any damage to you at all in the 3rd round. So the first 2 rounds, turns out, Goalie was looking at this, and he found that round 1 and 2, the amount of damage they do is tiny. And you can see here, I don't have any, there's no officers on here to reduce the amount of damage. There's just Ortegas for the mitigation. But the amount of damage they do in the first 2 rounds is almost nothing. So they do 10,000 damage, most of that's mitigated. You get 600, 500 whole health damage 4 times. So let's say 2,000, 4,000 total whole health lost for this fight. You can do math. If you see how much whole health you have on your Mantis, it's probably in the millions. Mine's 1.8 million. That means you can go for a really long time. That's really good for this event because you get points based on the amount of critical damage that you do. So just the number of hostiles that you kill is all that matters, and the amount of critical percent that you have for those. And remember from last time we did a video that you can get 100% critical chance. If we go here and just take a quick look at those 36s. You'll see flying around here when we zoom in that there's probably a critical one around here. This one. It gives you 100% critical chance. So as long as you keep that going, and you have the other one, which gives you the extra shots, plus 1 extra shot per round, you can kill these guys in just 3 rounds. At least I can kill the 36s. I tried the 37s. I can't do it. I can't do it for the 37s. The 36s are small enough for me, though. Goalie was down there killing the 35s when he figured this out. I'm sure it took him all day. I was in the 36 area for an hour and a half. I killed nearly 300 of them, and that's where I got almost all the points for this event so far. I think I started with 37 billion or so, and so I think I got about 50 billion points. That's a whole lot. It did take a very long time, but for some of you it's worth it to not have to buy that $100 pack to get the 10 times bonus, and just to get high up in there in the ranks. If we look quickly about the other thing we were talking about Sharvanik and Kang, you'll notice these Explorers, the default for explorers is to have lots of accuracy and to have lots of shield deflection. So usually what a battleship would want to do is have your shield piercing, 68k on the battleship, you see that's the highest number, be better than the shield deflection on the explorer. But you see, at least at my level, that's never going to happen for this area. So that means that my piercing versus this explorer is going to be terrible. So I'll probably be minimum piercing. All my numbers are lower by a lot. However, if you can get any of your values above one of theirs, then you can get at least some piercing. And some is better than none. So if you can have Kang or Charvanik increase your armor piercing or your accuracy above 25k, at least for the 36s, then you could do it. And even if it wasn't above 25k, but it was closer, you'd get a bigger chunk of piercing out of that. The weird thing is that it seems like the Apexes, even though they're interceptors, they also have shield deflection very high. So that means it's even better if you could get Kang. If you get Kang's accuracy bonus to bring your accuracy closer to their dodge right there, because dodge is the main stat for interceptors. And so when you have your piercing, the piercing for the main stat matters more. It's about twice as much as what the other two stats matter for. So you get even more piercing out of the dodge when you hit the interceptors. Now obviously using this crew, hitting the interceptors, you'll be counting on again the three rounds to help you out there, because your Ortegas won't work anymore. So you could try 5 as opposed to Ortegas. If you use 5-4, that might work to help your mitigation against the explorers and the interceptors. So 5-4 Kang might be a great thing if you have a high enough Kang, or even if you don't, 5-4 just together probably work pretty well. Anyway, that's it for this video. Have fun and go kill hundreds of these things and try to get high in the ranks, everybody. See ya. Bye.